Giants has picked up a full game and are now only 2.5 games behind first-place Cincinnati. They both lost 54 games, but Cincinnati has won 5 more games than Los Angeles, so the Dodgers have their work cut out for them to catch up. And right now, the Yankees take the field. National anthem. Speaking of distinguished guests in the Yankee box, we have one right here who's going to take the microphone away from me, Red Barber. You call me a guest, and also you think that if you didn't want to turn this microphone loose, I could get it out of your hand? Oh, yes, Red. I have a very light grip. Never gripped the bat real tight when I was playing. Bill, I was just thinking it was a very sensitive moment to hear the national anthem and to see former President Truman down there. Were you playing ball when you threw out some of the first baseballs of the season? Yes, I hate to say it, Red, but I was playing when the late President Roosevelt was throwing out first balls down in Washington. Well, did you ever catch any? Oh, I didn't have a chance with those monsters in front of me. Eddie Robinson would get one. All those big guys would knock me out of the way. Once I sat on somebody's shoulder and had a good chance, but I couldn't quite reach it. I was talking with Sid Hudson down in the dugout, and he said that he got one. I know he got it when he was playing with Washington, pitching for them when I was with the Yankees, and I remember the day he got it. Well, I've never been at Washington for the first game ceremonies. Do the visiting and the home players all get together when the president throws out the ball? Yes, we all line up like 2 football teams, and it's just like a guy going through the middle. When he throws that ball, everybody dives, and you got to look out and get spiked there. Do you know of anybody ever getting spiked? No, not getting spiked, but roughed up a little bit. All right, Mr. Dudo, you have a priceless background. And I mean that, too, Fred. Yeah, I wish I had it. Well, one of the oddities of the baseball season confronting us. There's Washington, which has lost 17 out of 18, and yet they played the Yankees to a positive standoff out of 14 ball games. 7-7. And here's Marty Keough, first up. Left-hand hitter. Roland Sheldon delivers the curve, and Keough hits a high fly right out to right field of Blanchard. John makes the catch. Matto yesterday was not supposed to play with the sore left arm. Came out, took a few batting practice swings, and said he could play. He went ahead and hit 49 and 50. Came out today, and they thought he would be able to play after playing yesterday. Found out that he could not. The arm was much too painful. And so it is a game-by-game matter when Mickey's arm will let him get back in there. And, of course, this comes as a tough blow to him because he's very much in this September scheme of things. Now we have Billy Klaus, left-hand hitting third baseman, taking a call strike. Steele went up there at 259. Klaus is hitting 230. Woodling, our old friend, waiting on deck, hitting 313. Tall, Roland Sheldon deliver the curveball low outside. Ball 1. Drummond is the ball and strike umpire in the first game today. Paparella is first. That means he'll have the duty in the second game. Runge at second and Salak at third. It is a clear, hot afternoon, which is, I know, no news at all. Slider, low inside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ronnie Hemsley pushing down at third for Washington. George Case former great base stealer, pushing down his first. With Mantle out of it, Barris has moved to center field, and Blanchard, who was originally supposed to catch this first game, has gone to right. There's a high fly ball hit into short right center. Second baseman Richardson is out. Signals he'll take it. Blanchard right back out and saying, take it, and Bobby took it. So once again, you have the versatility of the catching staff, keeping this ball club at full strength. There's Burrow out in left field, Blanchard in right, and Howard back at the plate. And here is Gene Woodling, hitting .313. In all the years he's been in baseball, he's always worn number 14. Swings and has a line drive base hit into right. He timed the curveball perfectly. Blanchard can just pick it up and throw it back in, and it's a single. The Woodling is 102nd hit. Give him a little rest, and he can still go. So Woodling is at first, and here's Gene Green, the catcher, hitting .294. Big, strong right-hand batter. We don't have to tell you that he's a strong batter, or he wouldn't be hitting four. That's self-evident. Gets up there and spreads out with a slightly open stance. Very light breeze. As a change of pace swung on and hit foul down in the right field corner. Strike one. Sheldon has won 9, lost 4. This is his second year in organized ball. He pitched some Class B ball last year. The Washington pitching coach, Sid Hudson, made the same jump. He jumped from Stanford, Florida, in Class B ball to the Washington Senators. We were talking with Sid about it before the game and asked him if it is really as big a jump as it seems on the surface. He said, not if you have the arm. He said, if you have the arm and you get over that initial set of butterflies, there's a curve swung on it. That's strike two. He said, you can do it. Another off to strike. Down at first base, Richardson is second, two back to short. Third base is Boyer. Bella tying up that grass out there in left field. Groundkeepers love him, but they don't like what he does to that green grass. Fastball is low inside, ball one. Maris in center, and Blanchard is in right. Outfielder out toward left. Yogi is always moving around. He's sort of nervous, and he, I don't think he's even aware of it, but he's always ripping at the grass with his spike. It was very green when the series opened Friday night, and he's got a yellow spot out there now. 1-2 pitch. The curve is low and inside. Ball two. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got a good crowd on hand. Well, it's been sort of quiet since Detroit left. Man. Record-setting 3-game series. 171,000 pace. Pitch is just outside the slot of ball 3. That was close. As Howard turning around to talk to Drummond. And he's not asking Cal the name of a restaurant in Kansas City. All right, 3-2. Automatic run and hit. Woodling at first, 2 out. Sheldon comes set. Delivers. Fastball, foul back. That's one went over there in the distance broadcasting booth. Well, Phil Rizzuto over there visiting with him. Got it. He's like an old fire horse when he hears the bell. Every time he sees a baseball, he's after it. All right, 10-2. Still, Woodling takes his lead. He goes. The pitch is swung on and foul tip. So Woodling is going to have to return, start again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With Mantle's arm keeping him out of the lineup. This, of course, is working against Mickey in his bid for the home run. medical report is it's just a game-by-game basis. I say this, the arm really hurts, the man will be out there. Because, as they say, he plays in pain. He's been doing it for years. 3-2 pitch again. Ball 4, Ironside. So Woodling pulls up at second. Green moves on down to take first. We have runners at first and second. No score. And here is Willie Tasby hitting at 264. He has the most hits up at Washington squad, 110. He's also batted in the most runs, 59. He also has the most home runs, 17. One more than Long and one more than Green. Swings to the curve. Doesn't get it. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Infield is back, of course. 2 outs. Outfield takes Tasby around toward left. Pitch is swung on, hit right back to Sheldon. Knocks it down, recovers, throws over the star before Tasby halfway down the line. So that's it. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left. Score end of half an inning. Washington nothing, the Yankees coming back.
Now is the time to start thinking about home heat. You know, a quick phone call tomorrow can bring you triple refined Atlantic heating oil, the best for clean, modern heat. Atlantic's exclusive triple refining process gives you a clear, transparent, clean-burning fuel. And Atlantic makes sure that you don't run out. Deliveries are automatic, depending on the daily weather and your family's needs. Take a minute now. Call your local Atlantic distributor to order low-cost, triple refined Atlantic heating oil.
Out on the mound, Benny Daniels. He has won 8, lost 9. He has beaten the Yankees twice. He's been pitching professor since 51. He had short trial with Pittsburgh, 57, 58, then back again 59, where he won 7 and lost 9. He was at Pittsburgh last year, but most of the time at Columbus. Richardson first out. Takes a call, strikes. 0-1. Bobby hitting 269 as hit first base in his last 11 games. He is tied with Mantle for the most hits on the Yankees, 150. He checks his swing on an inside slider, 1-1. The bulletin on the scoreboard, Mantle out today with muscle strain left forearm. Moses coaching at first. Frank Frazzetti coaching at third. Right-handed delivers, and Richardson hits a fly ball out to right field. Woodling making the catch. One up, one away. Woodling is in right. Tasby is in center. Keogh is in left. The infield is Dale Long at first base. At second is Chuck Cartier. They got him from Detroit, just the fellow that used to be with Milwaukee. Tony Kubek takes low outside, ball 1. Johnson is short. Third baseman is Billy Cloud. Green catching. Benny Daniels pitching. No score, 1 down, last of the first inning. Kubek takes the pitch low inside to catch off the catcher's glove. Just rolls away, ball 2. 2-0. Pitch is too low. Ball 3. Tony hitting 280. 3-0 delivery, over. Just laid it through there. 3-1. This is Washington's last time in the stadium this year. Tomorrow night, Wednesday afternoon. The Indians come in for a makeup game Tuesday night, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is 4 days, as they call second strike. And then Sunday, a doubleheader with Cleveland. So we've got a real big week on our hands. Yankees leading now by their biggest lead of the season, 4.5, after sweeping the 3-game set with the Tigers, and everyone was a battle. Pitch is low inside, ball 4 to Tony. So we have the first Yankee runner, and now we have Maris. In case you're wondering what the Yankee batting order, that's just tuned in. Maris is playing center field, hitting at his usual third spot. Farrah is hitting back of him, then Blanchard, then Howard, then Starr, and then Boyer, Sheldon. Well around toward right on Roger. Hitting .273, has 53, in which he didn't need a pinch runner. Batted in 124. Takes a strike on the outside. Roger up there. Daniels catches on at first. Now he swings and there's a line drive to long. The steps on first base for the unassisted double play. Washington's 136. So it's no score into the first inning. Now we got Mr. Rizzuto back out of the visitor's booth. You go after foul balls all over the stadium, Phil?
Oh, yeah. I'm a roving fly catcher back here, Red. I'd love to get it. I get a big kick out of it.
Well, is it, you still can't resist going for a baseball when you
No, I can't. And I've tried to heed your warning not to go after them with my bad hands, and I've gotten a couple of bad fingers doing it, Red, but I don't know. Then you give it to a kid and you feel good.
Well, it's a little early to have anything for you on the other ball game. We will give you the schedule. First, let's put that double plate on. Line drive to the first baseman who stepped on the bag unassisted. Cleveland coming in here Thursday night is up at Boston for a single game. Detroit is going to play a twilight doubleheader down at Baltimore. And there's a day-night bargain bill for Chicago at Minnesota. Doubleheader, Los Angeles at Kansas City. In the National League, Cincinnati has started at Philadelphia. Johnson for Cincinnati, Sullivan for Philadelphia, and Tesco has homered for the Reds in the first inning with 1 on. They're still at bat. Pittsburgh plays a single at St. Louis, Milwaukee a single at Chicago, and San Francisco plays at Los Angeles tonight. In case you hadn't heard, the Reds got beat at Philadelphia. The Dodgers won at home, and the difference between Cincinnati in first place and Los Angeles in second is now 2.5 games. Well, here's Dale Long, just made the unassisted double play on Maris's line drive. First up in the second inning. Swings and does not get a fastball up high around the shoulders. Long hitting .257. He was one of the players selected by Washington off the Yankee list during the winter. Strike one pitch. Low inside at the knees. 1-1. Long laid in some very efficient pinch hits last 2 months of last season for the Yankees. No score. There's the curve on the outside. Ball 1. Sheldon pitching the first game. Bud Daly goes in second. Burnside is Washington's starter in the second game. A lot of folks were expecting Dick Donovan to pitch one of the games for Washington today. 2-1 pitch, low inside, ball 3. When I ran into him in the Washington dugout, I said, when are you working in this series? He said, I don't know whether I'll pitch in this series or not. I've got a sore toe. You think about it, a pitcher pivoting, if he's got a sore toe, he's pretty well handicapped. It was a sore toe that closed out the career of Dizzy Dean as a pitcher. Turned him loose on television. 3-1 pitch is a half swing and a foul tip. It's 3-2. Diz got hit in an All-Star game by Earl Averill. That hit on toe. Broke it. And he resumed pitching before the toe was completely healed. And
to try and avoid excessive pain, he changed his pitching move. And then came the real pain. 3-2 pitch, swung on, foul back. Sheldon is passed today. And then 3 foul balls right back up here. When you sit here in this broadcasting area, you find out who's passed. Whitey Ford is a beautiful pitcher to watch. Foul balls never come up here. Strike 3. Took him out on a high fastball. Well, we have 1 up and 1 gone. Speaking of my Whitey Ford's foul balls never come up here, and other pitchers who are fast, the foul tips do. Yesterday, before the game with Detroit, we were talking with their rookie third baseman, Vic McAuliffe, who was brought up well after the season began this year from Denver. There's a line drive that is hit by Johnson into left field for a base hit. He's on. Solid single to left. And I asked McAuliffe what was the difference in the pitching in the majors and in the high minors. Well, he said there's one thing that you can say without having to stop and think about it. You see a lot more fastballs in the minor leagues. You see a lot slower pitching in the majors. In other words, you see the breaking stuff, the changes, speed, etc. And the fellows, if they really don't know how to pitch, they just throw in hard as they can, and that's that. Now here's Chuck Cartier taking a curve low outside. Howard had to go down and to his right. That is the hardest place for a catcher. Because the mitt is on the left hand. At least the last time I looked, all the major league catchers were right-handed throwers. 1-0 pitch is swung on a line drive to Stein. Unassisted double play at first base. Boom, boom. Well, now, how long would you wait to see an unassisted double play by the first baseman? How long would you wait to see it happen in successive half innings? And the score at the end of an inning and a half, it was 0-0, and New York nothing.
What does a truck driver think about as he drives?
You know, this is a pretty good life. New sights to see all the time. Yeah, when you get back home after a long trip, there waiting for you, your own car, all ready to go.
Okay, lady, be my guest.
Gosh, I'm glad that car of mine is running right again. Boy, remember how rough it used to idle? The way it stalled? That was a great day when Harry told me about Atlantic Imperial. The gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive. Yeah, and keeps it clean. Now my little buggy drives like a dream.
Half of the second inning. The redoubtable Mr. Barra seems to be getting younger out there in left field. Had a home run and 2 more hits yesterday. Then Blanchard, then Howard. Sketching staff. 1, 2, 3. No score game. Right-hander Daniels delivers a curve that is good. Barra was holding the batter's area with bunt. But from the way he moved his feet, I think he was just taking all the way. Daniels delivers. Change off the fastball high outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Low inside across the chin. Ball 2. A current bulletin on the scoreboard. Yankee pitching leaders Ford. 122, lost 3. He's to have a well-deserved day out here Saturday. Arroyo. 1.94 earned run average. An amazing man, isn't he? right, 2-1. Bell leading off the last of the second. Swings at the high fly ball into short right field. Here's Woodling coming under it. He has it. And we have one down. Well. A little breeze is stirring. Johnny Blanchard was supposed to have caught this first game, and then when Mantle was unable to play with the bad left forearm, he went to right field. Daniels pitching him on the outside. Ball one. Blanchard, a very dangerous batter up there, hitting .287. Swings, and there's a looper in the short center that goes for a base hit. He broke his bat, but on most occasions, players will trade a bat for a bingo. This is the first Yankee hit. Now I have Howard. Came up to bat in the ninth inning yesterday, and apparently he didn't want to stay in the ballpark any longer. Wasn't interested next inning. So he sent everybody home. Howard hitting .350, second best average in the league. Right-hand hitter takes the slider over for a called strike. Howard, because he is catching and in and out, will not have enough at-bats to qualify him in a race for the batting championship. Strike one pitch, serve low outside, ball one. I would say the way the rules are set up now, that you're not going to see any catches as batting champion. 1-1 pitch, swung on and foul back. Figured out now, the ratio of at-bats per ball game and for the schedule, a fellow has to be at the plate 502 times. This is not only official at-bats, but walk, sacrifice another appearance, 502. 1-2 pitch, serve swung on, has a base hit in the center. Has to go down to second base and holds on. Sazby has a good arm in center field. So Howard pops another one, single to center. With one down, we have Yankee runners at first and second. And the Moose gets that by now familiar greeting. These simulated Moose calls. John hitting .277. This is a curve swung on in there. Strike one. Dan Daniel likes to tell the story that when Sharon first came up to the stadium, he heard these sounds, and he said to Daniel a couple of days later, he said, "What are they booing me about?" There is a pop-up. He's automatically out on the provision of the infield fly roll. The first baseman caps under it and takes it. So Dan said, "They're not booing you. They love you. They just howling, move." All right, sit down. David Boyer, third baseman. No score. Last of the second inning. Set. Delivers. Fastball swung on, hit down the left field corner, foul. Boyer got out ahead of it. No balls, one strike. Bosky to second base. Howard at first. Daniels throws back to second, and it took him off. They timed that beautifully. Just as Sanchez started to take his lead, the second baseman, who was not too far off, Cartier, went in, and at the same moment, it's a time play. At the same moment, Daniels whirled, and there it was. They picked him off. Pitch it to the second baseman. So, that's all for the threat. No runs, 2 hits. Totals at the end of 2. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Washington. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for New York.
Remember, Atlantic Imperial gasoline cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Friends, this series continues tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon. And we are happy to advise that the Wednesday afternoon game, which was originally scheduled to be broadcast on WCBS FM only, will be heard on both AM and FM. So that's Wednesday afternoon, 880 on your AM dial and 101.1 on your FM dial. Now we'll pause for station identification.
Good sound broadcasting for 1961. This is Quality Modern, WOKO, 1460 on the dial, Albany, New York, your Yankee baseball station. The time, 2 minutes past 2 p.m.
Sheldon has gotten ready, and we are moving into the third inning. The Washington pitcher, Benny Daniels, will be first up. He's a left-hand hitter. No score. Daniels hitting .207. He has 12 hits. Sheldon gives him a curve outside. Starts him off with it. Ball 1. Well, there's the bulletin on the board. Welcome, former President Harry S. Truman, here today. Pitch high outside, ball 2. Mr. Truman was always an out-and-out baseball fan. To a lot of the ball games. President Eisenhower went to a lot of baseball games. And former President Hoover been out here many times. 2-0 pitch is all strike. 2-1. I remember a time that the Old Timers Day game in which former President Hoover was on a guest. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2. And Cy Young, who won more ball games than the other pitcher. He died a few years ago. He was an honored guest, and I got them both together on the three-game television show, and as soon as I got them together, then 100 photographers, they wanted that picture. That's strike 3 swinging. And I might say that it didn't make any difference to them that the television camera wasn't getting much of a picture. The second strikeout for Sheldon. 1 gone. Out of the third. Now we have Marty Keough, slender left-hand hitting outfielder, playing left field today, hitting .258. Well, he used to be with the Red Sox. Takes the curve in there for a strike. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. End of the first inning, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, 2-0 favor the Reds. Pitch is high, ball 1. That was a change up the fastball. It has been very, very noticeable how Sheldon has smoothed out in his pitching technique and in handling himself out there on the mound. As the fastball swung on, strike 2. I know that Johnny Sane, the pitching coach, has been working with him very steadily and very quietly. I know that John must be very proud because the first part of the year, Sheldon, with that very elongated motion, he had a terrible time holding a runner on and getting rid of the ball. And that, I think, is the most noticeable improvement that is to be just openly seen. You can hold him on now. 1-2 pitch. Curve swung on, grounded foul outside first base. Still 1-2. First of a doubleheader. Pitch is a fastball outside. Ball 2. 2-2. No score. Washington has played the Yankees even. 7 games in 7 games this year. Lovely breeze is coming in from back of left field, blowing to right. Curve, low inside, ball 3. Whoever turned it on won't turn it off. 3-2. 1 down, nobody on. Three-two pitch. Change of pace too high. Ball 4. Second walk given up by Ronnie. Now we have Billy Klaus, who popped to second first inning. Klaus hitting 229. Outfield shades him into right. Bella has shortened up somewhat in left. Pitch is the curve in there for a strike. And Bella is really nervous-footed out there. He's moving all the time. Sheldon set. Checks his runner, throws over there. Nothing doing. With the wind blowing in from left to right here, it means that planes taking off. You get a good look at it as they go back to left. There goes the runner. There's the curve taken. There's Howard throw, and he steals it. Steele got the jump. This is his 11th steal of the year. So he's at second base. He got a great jump on Sheldon, and in addition, Sheldon threw a slow curve. And that guaranteed it. Howard didn't have a chance. 1-1 pitch, curve, swung and missed. Strike 2. We were visiting with the pitching coach of Washington, Sid Hudson, before the game. We were talking about what does it mean to a pitcher to have a man on at first base with a definite threat to steal. And Sid Hudson said it means that you can't throw anything but fastballs. Because Sheldon didn't think he would go. Curve swung on, grounded to the right side. Richardson is up with it, throws to Cowing, and we have 2 out. And Keel moves over to third. 2 men gone. And here's Gene Woodling. Wrapped a sharp single into right in the first inning. Woodling hitting at .315. Professional since 1940. He's still going. Pitch is over for a strike on the inside. Woodling came up with the Yankees in 49. And stayed here at the stadium through 54. Then he was involved in that big deal with Baltimore. which Turley and Lawson came to New York. Strike one pitch, just outside, a change, ball one. He's been involved in quite a few deals. 1-1 pitch. Curve low inside, ball two. Woodling was first traded to Pittsburgh back in 47 for Al Lopez. And in that trade for the Orioles and the Yankees, he went along with Harry Bird and Don Leppert, Jim McDonald, Bill Miller, Willie Morandi, Hal Smith, Cal Segrist, and Gus Triendo. 2-1 pitch is swung on as a high fly ball along the left field line. Bella coming over, and the ball goes foul. The Yankees got Hunter, Krahosky, Lawson, and Turley. With Lipsker, Fridley, and Darrell Johnson going to Denver. And Del Giesio to Birmingham. And when he went to Cleveland, deal for Dave Pope and Wally Westlake. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit right back to the mound. Sheldon grabs it smartly, throws over to first, and Willie's out. That's all for the bid. No runs, no hits. One man left. Score at the end of 2.5 innings first game remains Washington nothing and New York nothing.
For pleasure driving that is the pleasure, you need something more than a freshly washed car and a bright sunny day. For one thing, you need to be sure that your carburetor is clean to do its job at peak efficiency. Now that's why more and more motorists from New England to Florida have started to use Atlantic Imperial gasoline regularly. This quality gasoline cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. You see, Atlantic Imperial removes the harmful deposits of dirt that get past your engine's air cleaner and build up on the lower walls of your carburetor. These deposits can cause rough idling, stalling, and gasoline waste. But once you've used Atlantic Imperial for a while, you'll feel the difference. And as long as you use it, Atlantic Imperial will keep new deposits from forming in your carburetor. See your Atlantic dealer soon. Use Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Well, the last half of the third inning. Boyer, Sheldon, and Richardson. Boyer was left waiting at the altar when they picked Blanchard off second inning. No score. Ball high inside. See about the fellow that got his clothes on fire? You know what he said? His pitch is swung on as a ground ball down to short. There's a throw in the dirt at first, and Long takes it out for the out. Johnson threw it in the dirt, but Long came up with it. So, one up, one down. He said, yes, sir. I'm smoking more now, but enjoying it less. Here's Sheldon. Like all pitchers, treasures his hit. Got 6 of them. Actually, not too deep. Daniels, right-handed, delivers low outside. This fellow throws hard. Ball one. Right-handed work. Curve, low outside, and it is ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the outfield is laid back into right. They're not playing in the full. There's the slider, good. Called strike on the outside. 2-1. Bounding ball half speed to second. There's a play over to first, and that is all for Sheldon. Cartier to long. 2 up, 2 down, last of the third. Bobby Richardson 0 for 1. Hitting 268. His last 11 games. Swings, this may be called straight. It is. It's in the hole in left center. And Bobby's on his way to second base. Here comes the throw from Keogh, and Bobby is in, just in for a double. Keogh made a beautiful throw to Cartier, the second baseman covering. But Bobby, he had the bit in his teeth. The time he left home plate, he was headed for second base. So he's made his 12th straight game, and he now has the most hits on the Yankees, one more than the time he left home plate. He was headed for second base. So he's made his 12th straight game, and he now has the most hits on the Yankees, one more than Mantle, who with a bad left forearm is unable to play today. So Richardson is at second. Line double up the alley on left center. Hit number 3 for New York, and now here's Tony Kubek. Walked in the first inning. Pitch well outside, ball 1. Bobby is a great finisher. He's hitting. Now, he comes out in August and September. He got started on this third back about the middle of July. He's been climbing steadily. Tony swings at the fly ball into short right field. Here's Woodling coming over, and the second baseman. The second baseman makes the catch. And now, let me see. Did he step on Woodling, or did Woodling step on him? I think Gene stepped on Cartier's right foot. He's limping a little bit. He made the catch right off Woodling's chest. That ball was in no man's land. It was a nice catch by the second baseman, but he got nicked a little bit. No runs, 1 hit. Total at the end of 3 then. 0-2-0 for Washington and 0-3-0 for New York. Now, Mr. Rizzuto, what can be done on a pop fly like that is both players' ball? Well, there's not much you can do, Ed, because the crowd's yelling, and when 2 fellas are going after the ball, it's hard for them to take their eye off the ball to see where the other fella is, and usually somebody yells at the last second. Evidently, they both went for the ball, and if they did yell, neither one could hear them. Well, of course, they had to go because it meant a run, didn't it? It certainly did. That's one play that I always kept out of the way of those big left fielders when I was going back. I could hear their footsteps, and I'd move away. Did you ever get bumped? Nope. Never ran into an outfield. And you never got put out of a game? No, never thrown out of the game. No, never argued with an umpire either. But you had your opinion. Oh, yeah. Definitely. The only trouble was I kept them to myself. I think that's how I got that ulcer. If I'd exploded once in a while, I got on some of those umpires. But umpiring's a tough job. Just kidding. If any umpires are listening. On the scoreboard, Cleveland won, Boston batting in the back, top of the first, bottom of the first. Better take my glasses off there. Detroit's at Baltimore for a twilight doubleheader. Chicago at Minnesota, a twilight doubleheader. No, they have a day-night doubleheader. One in the daytime, one at night. Los Angeles at Kansas City for a doubleheader. Cincinnati at Philadelphia. The Reds lead 3-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Castro homered with a man on. Pittsburgh at St. Louis, Milwaukee, Chicago, and San Francisco at Los Angeles tonight. Gene Green, who walked in the first inning, leading off for the Senators here in the top of the 4th, scoreless ball game. Roland Sheldon into the windup. Pitch to Green is a curve foul back in the upper deck. Strike 1. Green batting .294. On deck is Willie Stasby.
Sheldon's one-strike pitch inside almost hit Green. It did hit him. Man, he jumped way back, and the ball must have just nicked his uniform shirt. It went all the way back to the screen, but plate umpire Cal Drummond said, take your base, so he was just nicked by a pitch ball. Green at first, nobody out, and here's Willie Tasby hit back to the box in the first inning. Tasby batting .263. He leads the Senators in homers with 17. Also with runs batted in, 59. Pitch is over Tasby's head, ball one. Sheldon has been pitching high most of the day. He's only walked 2 men. He struck out 2 and allowed 2 hits. Green leading off first, Darwin holding him on. On deck is Dale Long. Here's the stretch. Pitch is a foul off the end of the bat, 1-1. We on AM and FM too, Joe? Very good. 1-1 the count on Tasby. Pitch is bunted at and back to Sheldon. He throws to second base in time to get Green. No chance for the double play. Tasby was trying to beat that out. He was not trying to sacrifice. And he bunted right back to the mound. Sheldon whirled around and fired to Richardson in time to get Green. But Bobby didn't have a chance for Tasby going to first base. So it's 1 out. And here's Dale Long, who struck out swinging in the second inning. Long batting .256. Big left-hand hitter with an open stance. On deck, Bob Johnson. Pitch to Long, a foul going back in the upper deck. One strike on Long. Bob Johnson on deck. Sheldon goes to the rosin bag. Nothing here. Top of the fourth. 1 out. Tasby at first. There goes Tasby. The pitch is hit over Scoring's head in the right field. Tasby is going to third base. Long holds it first. As Dale Long hit a Baltimore chop, 1 hop over Scoring's head. With Tasby running, Willie usually made third base. Long is on with the third hit off Sheldon. And now the Senators are threatening. Runners at first and third with 1 out. And Bob Johnson, who lined a single to left field in the second inning, the batter. Johnson batting .269. The ground like it was hitting concrete, bounced about 15 feet over Moose's head. Hard runners at first and third lead away. The stretch. Pitch to Johnson. A high pop-up to the right side. Scoring in foul territory is under it. And the Moose takes it right in the coaching box for the second out, and that was a big out for young Mr. Sheldon. And it brings up Chuck Cartier, who lined into a double play in the second inning. Still runners at first and third, but now it's 2 out. Cartier batting .248. Right hand hitting second base. And he has played sensationally defensively against the Yankees all year. Scorer now playing in back of Dale Long, the runner at first. Boyer is even with the bag, just in case Cartier might try and beat one out. Tasby leads off third. Pitch to Cartier. Strike call, the breaking pitch on the outside corner. breeze starting to kick up here at the stadium and some clouds floating overhead. Sheldon sits. And that was it looked like a balk, but nobody called it. And here comes Mickey Vernon. Casby bluffed coming down the line, and Sheldon inadvertently leaned a little towards third base before delivering that pitch. And the two runners on base, the two coaches, and Mickey Vernon jumped. Actually, I almost started to call it a balk, but none of the four umpires did, so... The pitch was a ball, by the way, and Casby must have bothered Sheldon. He gave a good bluff as though he was going to come down the line. Raleigh Hensley, the coach at third, and George Chase, the coach at first, came charging into home plate, and Mickey Vernon jumped off the bench like he had gotten a hot foot. But none of the four umpires called it, and either one of the four could have called it if they had seen it. Vernon now going down to third base talking to Nestor Shalak. And Vernon turns away. So it's a 1-1 count on Chuck Cartier. 2 out and runners at first and third. No score. Louis Casby is still trying to talk Shalak into calling it a ball. Casby better turn around. Sheldon's ready to pitch, and Willie's waving his arms, still arguing with Shalak. Cartier steps into the batter's box. Casby still drawn away. Now he turns around. Sheldon checks the sign from Howard. Here's the stretch. Casby bluffed again. Pitch is popped in the air right by the mound. Reed Boyer and Starin after it, and look out, Starin Colford makes the catch. For the Senators in the top of the fourth, no runs on one base hit. No Yankee errors, 2 men left, and at the end of 3 1/2, it's the Senators nothing and the Yankees nothing.
You know, something new has been added to the do-it-yourself list. Yes, now you can clean the carburetor of your car. Remove dirt in the vital throttle plate area without even raising the foot. How? Just use Atlantic Imperial regularly. You see dirt deposits build up on the lower walls of most carburetors. Can affect the action of the throttle plate and can cause it to feed the wrong mixture of air and gasoline to your engine. This results in rough idling, frequent stalling, and actual gasoline waste. But after a few thousand miles of driving with Atlantic Imperial gasoline, this carburetor dirt will be gone, washed harmlessly away. And for as long as you use Atlantic Imperial, you didn't worry about new deposits forming. That's why more and more people these days are using Atlantic Imperial. It's the quality gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Right now, let's pause for station identification.
Good sound broadcasting for 1961. This is Quality Martin, WOKO, 1460 on your dial, Albany, New York. Your Yankee baseball station. WOKO time, 29 minutes past 2 p.m.
Roger Maris, who lined into a fast double play in the first inning, leads off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the fourth. No score in the ball game. And they've got the shift on for Maris again. The pitch to Roger. He was ready to bunt, takes it high inside ball 1. And Rod takes a look out at Benny Daniels. A wind-up again. Changeup fouled over in the center of the dugout. And caught in the cap of the trainer. Nice play. Took his baseball cap off and caught it. Bob Johnson, the shortstop, is playing second base. And the second baseman, Chuck Cartier, back on the outfield grass. Dale Long guarding the line. Billy Faust all alone on the left side. And Maris bunts, but back to the pitcher. Daniels throws inside first, but he's out. Maris trying to butt it down the third base line. Got it too close to the pitcher. And there goes the helmet out of the Yankee dugout. Brings up Yogi Berra, who flied to short right field in the second inning. Ready, pitch to Yogi, a ground foul. That's Wally Moses in the coaching box. Wally gets the carom off the wall. One strike on Yogi. On deck, Johnny Blanchard. Daniels' next pitch curve in the dirt. Bounces off the catcher's chest protector, 1-1. Outside and low ball 2-1. Now the right-hander comes back with a fastball. Line to center field, a base hit. Yogi caught that low sinker and hit it right over the pitcher's head into center field. That's the fourth hit off Daniels. And it brings up Johnny Blanchard, who singled in the second inning, and then was picked off second base. One out on deck, Elston Howard. Blanchard batting .289. Yogi leading away. The pitch to Johnny. Outside, ball 1. Nothing to score here in the last of the fourth with one away. Pitch to Johnny Blanchard is a change-up curve in there. Strike called, 1-1. Delivery. A base hit to center field, a line drive. That's the up with it and hit so hard, Yogi can only go to second and hold on. Blanchard gets his second straight hit to center field. The fifth hit off Daniels, and it brings up Elston Howard, who drilled a single to center in the second inning. Bottom of the ninth inning yesterday, won the ball game for the Yankees. Howard batting .352. One out. Blanchard at first, Berra at second. Stretch and the changeup is low inside, ball 1. Bill Skowron on deck. By Daniels. Pitch to Howard. A base hit to right field. Yogi around third is coming on to score, and going to third is Blanchard. The Yankees lead 1-0. Elston Howard gets his second straight hit, driving in his 52nd run of the year. Blanchard goes to third. Howard at first, and the batter is Bill Skowron, who popped up to first base in the second inning. Only one away. Here's the stretch by Daniels. Pitch to the Moose. A ground ball to the shortstop. Johnson just out of you for one. Back to first. Double play. A big double play for the Senators. From short to second and first, but the Yankees come up with one run on 3 base hits. No Senator errors, one man left, and at the end of 4 full innings, it's the Yankees 1, the Senators nothing. Right now, while the teams are changing fields, sides, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by the crisp, refresher Valentine beer. Your first swallow and every one to follow tells you why over 5 million glasses of Valentine beer are enjoyed each day. Take a look at the scoreboard. In the American League now, it's Cleveland 1, Boston nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Grant against DeLotte. Detroit is at Baltimore for a twilight doubleheader. Chicago and Minnesota, a day-night doubleheader. In the first game, it's Bowman against Stroh. Los Angeles at Kansas City for 2 hasn't started. In the National League, Cincinnati at Philadelphia. At the end of 2, it's the Reds 3, the Phillies nothing. Johnson for Cincinnati. Sullivan started short in the first. Pasco Holman in the first with 1 on. Pittsburgh at St. Louis, it's Francis against Hideki. Milwaukee and Chicago, Willie against Curtis. And San Francisco is at Los Angeles tonight. For the Senators, Benny Daniels will lead off. He led off the 3rd inning and struck out. Elston Howard, who was on base the front end of that double play, just now getting out of the Yankee dugout with his catching gear on. Hector Lopez is loosening up Sheldon for Howard. Fires the ball to second. Now Ellie's ready to go. Daniels bats him left-handed. With Nestor Cadillac again. Walks back in the center of the dugout. Pitch to Daniels. Outside ball 1. And the official score has changed the error which was originally charged to Louis Arroyo in the 9th inning of yesterday's game and then gave it to Bill Skowron. Pitch to Daniels. A foul back on the screen. 1-1. If you remember, Arroyo picked up a swinging bunt, wheeled around and threw it to Skowron. The ball went right over Skowron's glove down the right field line. It set up the big 9th inning for the Tigers. They eventually scored 2 runs, but later on Moose, big man that he is, claimed that he should have had it and that it was not Arroyo's error, so the error was taken away and given to Skowron. There's a curve outside. Ball 2, 2-1. The angle is difficult for the official score to realize whether the throw was dead or not, and on that one it definitely was. 2-1 pitch, low ball 3, 3-1. Count to Benny Daniels. The pitch is pop foul going out of play. Full count. For some of you who tuned in late, Mickey Mantle is not playing this ball game. As you remember, he pulled a muscle in the left forearm on Saturday against the Tigers, and the arm is swollen. He had treatment before the game, but Mickey felt that he could not do justice to the team, either at bat or in the field, so he's resting. Here's the payoff pitch to Daniels. A swing and a miss, strike 3 through the fastball right by him. Second time Daniels has gone down on strike, and the 3rd strikeout to Sheldon. And here's Marty Steele, fly to right field, walked and stole a base. That was his 11th stolen base of the year, by the way. Tying him with Danny O'Connell for second place on the Senators base stealing effort. Chuck Hinton leads with 16. Steele's a left-hand hitter. 1 out, nobody on. Lines one to right field, and in there for a base hit. Johnny Blanchard plays it on 1 hop. He made that one look easy, just like serving a ball in tennis. That's the 4th hit off Sheldon. Here's Billy Klaus. Pop to second, bounce to second. Austin left-handed. Theo leading away. Sheldon and Watson close this time. Here's the stretch. There he goes. The ball is fouled back in the upper deck. That time they had the hit and run on. Klaus trying to slap the ball to left field, fouled it back. On deck, Gene Woodling. Fastball high and away, 1-1. Elston Howard has had a good year guessing on pitchouts this year. He's called pitchouts at the right time. Thrown men out trying to steal second. Stretch. 1-1 pitch, a ground foul outside of first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Klaus picks up a little dirt. One out. Yankees lead 1-0, top of the 5th. Marty Keough leading off first base. Sheldon stretches. Curve fouled on the right field line. Back in the upper deck. Nice play. One of the youngsters who brought his glove. Just about every kid now that comes to the game brings his glove with him. Ball, 2 strikes on Klaus. Stretch, pitch high and away, 2-2. Theo gave a bluff as though he was going to run that time, and Ellie jumped out of that catcher's box. 2-2 count. Now the stretch. Pitch low inside, and it's a full count. 3-2. So now it looks like Keough will be off with the pitch, even though there's just 1 out. He's a good base runner. 3-2 count on Klaus. A stretch by Sheldon. The run is going. The pitch is high and it's ball 4, but they had him moving. That's the 3rd walk given up by Sheldon. And it brings up Gene Woodling. Single to right, hit back to the box. On deck, Gene Green. The outfield comprised of Burr in left, Maris in center, Blanchard in right. Runners lead off first and second. The stretch, the pitch on the inside corner, strike 1 call. Sheldon sets. Curve popped in the air to right field. Blanchard is back under it. Going back to tag up his Theo, and he's moving to third base as Blanchard's throw is cut off by Richardson. Woodling sent Blanchard back to the center path in right field in front of the wall. Now it's 2 outs. Remaining at first was Billy Klaus, and here's Gene Green. Walked and was hit by a pitch ball. He's been a tough man for the Yankees all year.
first. Steele with third with 2 outs. New York leading 1-0. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Sheldon up with it. Throws to Skowron for the out. So for the Senators in the top of the 5th, no runs, 1 hit. No Yankee errors, 2 men left. At the end of 4 1/2, it's New York 1, Washington nothing.
Next time, take along a six-pack, a jolly six-pack of Valentine beer. It carries with ease, cools in a breeze, and best of all, it gives you 6 icy cold cans of the crisp refresher.
Cleve Boyer will lead off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Boyer bounced to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. Benny Daniels, the right-hander on the mound for the Senators. Boyer batting .225. Daniels pitches a curve hit, foul down the third base line. He tried to check his swing. Couldn't get the bat out of the way, but it kicked foul. 1 strike. Fastball hit on the ground. Backhanded, knocked down by Klaus. He can't pick it up. Klaus knocked it down, tried to pick it up with his glove, and as he went to throw, the ball squirted out of his glove. It's a base hit for Cleve Boyer. It was a fine defensive play at first for Billy Klaus, knocking it down, going down on both knees. But then instead of picking it up barehanded, he tried to pick it up with a glove, which he did. And then as he came back to throw, the ball squirted out of the glove. That's 7 hits off Daniels. Brings up Roland Sheldon, bounced to second in the 3rd inning. And the Senator infield looking for the possible sacrifice. With the Yankees leading 1-0, they'd like to pick up another run or so. Quick throw to first, Boyer back. Here's a stretch. Sheldon squares around, bunts it foul down the first base line. Strike 1. He's got Long, Klaus, and Daniels charging in on him. He squares around, bunts it down third. Klaus has to go to first base to sacrifice work. Holding at second is Boyer, and that's Sheldon's second successful sacrifice bunt this year. Play going from 5 to 4. Third baseman to the second baseman covering. Here's Richardson. Bobby fly to right, double to left center field, has now hit in 12 consecutive ball games. Batting .270, but that batting average doesn't tell half the job that Richardson's done at the plate and in the field for the Yankees this year. He's been simply great. Here's his stretch. Pitch to Bobby. Low ball 1. On deck, Tony Kubek. Back on July 6th, Richardson was batting only .230. He's raised his average 40 points, and that's tough to do when you're up a lot of times. Curveball hit on the ground at short. Johnson backhands it. Long throw is low, and he's safe at first. He beat it out. No error as Long backhanded the ball, but Richardson, who can really get down that line for a right-hand hitter, beats out an infield single. Boyer had to remain at second.
Anytime the ball's hit in front of you, which means either at the shortstop or third baseman and you're on second, you've got to stay there. You don't have to, but if you run, you'll be an easy out. So now it's Richardson at first, Boyer at second, and here's Kubek, who walks and pops at second. One away. New York leads 1-0. 8 hits now off Daniels. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Kubek is bunted foul as he tried to drop one down third. Back into the stands, bouncing from hand to hand. Roger Maris. Here's the stretch. Change-up hit on the ground to first, long. Goes to second for one. Back to first. And the throw is bad. And here comes Boyer in to score. As the pitcher went over the cover, he stuck his bare hand out. And he's shaking his hand now. And there'll be an error on the play. An error on the throw by the shortstop, Bob Johnson. The Yankees lead 2-0. The fourth play goes first baseman to the shortstop covering. And then give an error to the shortstop on his wide throw to the pitcher covering, allowing Boyer to score. Safe at first is Kubek. There's no RBI on that play. The Yankees lead 2-0. And here's Roger Maris. Roger lined into a double play and was thrown out attempting to beat out a bunt. Kubek at first. The stretch. Pitch to Roger. Foul back in the upper deck, strike one. I doubt whether they'd have had Kubek on the double play anyway, but had the throw been good, Boyer would not have scored. Change-up hit high in the air to short right field. The second baseman, Chuck Pottier, is moving under it in foul territory. Takes it. But the Yankees come up with another run on 2 base hits. 1 Washington error, 1 man left. And at the end of 5 full innings, it's New York 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Senators no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Scoreboard again at the end of 2.5 now. It's Cleveland 3, Boston 1. Malzone home in the second inning for the Red Sox. It's Grant against the Lock. Detroit at Baltimore playing a fly-night doubleheader. White Sox are at Minnesota for a day-night doubleheader. In the first game, it's 0-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Bowman against Stroll. Los Angeles at Kansas City playing a doubleheader. They've not started. In the National League, Cincinnati's increased their lead over Philadelphia 4-0 at the end of 3.5. Johnson for the Reds. Sullivan started short in the first. Castro home in the first with 1 on. Pittsburgh at St. Louis. Francis against Sadecki. The Pirates failed to score on the top of the first. Milwaukee at Chicago. Willie against Curtis. The Braves scored 2 on the top of the first. And San Francisco is at Los Angeles tonight. And because of the error, that run scored by the Yankees in the bottom of the fifth is unearned, which means it will not be charged for the pitcher's earned run average, but will count for the Yankees in the ball game. For the Senators, it'll be Tasby, Long, and Johnson to face Roland Sheldon. Tasby hit back to the box and bunted into a fourth play. Dean Green started a run up to the plate. He thought he was a hitter, rather Dale Long. He come charging out of the dugout. He saw Tasby up there. He put on a break. Serve is low to Willie. Ball 1. Long is anxious to get up there. He singled his last time up. Pitch to Tasby. High ball 2, 2-0. the seats right over our heads. Two balls, one strike. And that breeze is stirring up again. Fastball hit high in the air to deep right center field. Maris is going back and makes the catch back there on the center path in deep right center. As Casby got good wood on that ball. Maris got a good jump on the ball. Here's Dale Long, struck out in singles. One away. Sheldon's delivery long is popped in the air. Howard going after it, and Boyer coming in. And Boyer calling in Howard, and Howard makes the catch that charges him to Boyer, and Boyer goes down. He's all right, shaken up a little bit. Man, he hit a brick wall when he hit Howard that time, and he bounced off him. Cletus all right, just shaken up a little bit, knocked his cap and glasses off. But you could see Boyer yelling for it, but Howard had planted his feet and was under it, made the catch in foul territory. And then Boyer went down, but he's all right. 2 out. Brings up Bob Johnson, single to left and pops to first base. It's an awful feeling when you're going for a fly ball, and you think you're going to get it, and suddenly you hit something solid, and down you go. Nobody on. 2-0 the Yankees lead. Hits to Johnson. Checks the swing. It's low. Ball 1. Nothing pitch. Low outside. Ball 2. 2-0. Does a little rubbing up job on the ball before throwing it back to Sheldon. Two out, nobody on. 2-0 pitch is a ground ball over the pitcher's head and into center field, a base hit. Johnson gets his second base hit. A bouncing single over the pitcher's head. That's the 5th hit off Sheldon. Chuck Cartier lined into a double play in the second inning and then popped to first base in the 4th inning. Bob Johnson at first base. Foul down the right field line, back out of play. Strike 1. Curve low, 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 out. Pitch is fouled again in the upper deck. Out of play, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blanchard and right, Maris in center, not playing too deep on Cartier. Yogi fairly deep in left field. was a sign from Elston Howard. Curve is hit high in the air down foul territory at third. Boyer under it and makes the catch in foul territory. Ball was heading for the stands and the wind blew it back out. For the Senators in the top of the sixth, no runs, one hit, no Yankee errors, one man left at the end of 5 1/2. It's the Yankees 2, Washington nothing.
To be crisp, a beer must be icily light. Ooh, icily light. With true lager flavor, precisely right. Ooh, precisely right. Lathery golden, crisply clear, the crisp refreshing. Crisp refreshing. Valentine beer.
High in the air, down foul territory at third. Boyer under it and makes the catch in foul territory. Ball was heading for the stands and the wind blew it back out. For the Senators in the top of the sixth, no runs, one hit, no Yankee errors, one man left at the end of 5 1/2. It's the Yankees 2, Washington nothing.
To be crisp, a beer must be icily light. Ooh, icily light. With true lager flavor, precisely right. Ooh, precisely right. Lathery golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher. Crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
Pleasure is the purpose of the crisp refresher. Your first swallow and everyone to follow is light and crisp and golden. So pour pleasure. Pour today's Valentine.
Clap your hands, tap your feet, snap your fingers, and ask the man for Valentine. The crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
Since 1840,
America's finest.
Right now, let's pause for station identification.
At 1460 on the radio dial, you're in tune with Quality Martin, WOKO in Albany, New York. Good sound broadcasting for 1961, your Yankee baseball station. WOKO time, 2 minutes past 3 p.m.
Farrell leads off for the Yankees. Yogi flying to right, single to center. He scored once. Scored the first run of the ball game in the 4th inning. Danny Daniels into the windup. Pitch to Yogi right in there. Strike one called. Johnny Blanchard on deck. Curve hit off the end of Yogi's bat foul. 0-2. Yankees have 8 base hits. Blanchard has 2, Howard 2, Richardson 2, Berra 1, and Boyle 1. Two-strike pitch. Pop foul out of play. Two-strike pitch to Yogi. A fly ball to left center field. Willie Tasby under it, and Tasby makes the catch with Keel right alongside of him. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th, and it brings up Blanchard as 2 for 2, single to center both times. Full foul just outside of first, strike one. sharp breaking curveball. 1-1 changeup, low ball 2-1. Nobody on. Pitch outside. Ball 3-1. Elston Howard on deck. 3-1 pitch, low and away. Ball 4. Blanchard gets on for the third time in the ball game. 2 singles and a walk. And that's only the second walk given up by Benny Daniels. He walked Kubek in the first inning. Here's Elston Howard, who has 2 singles. Single to center, single to right. He's driven in a run. Kelly now batting .354. A fly ball to short right center field. Tasby coming in, and he takes it. He thought Woodling was going to take it. And at the last second, Woodling stopped, and Tasby really had to come on. Just did make the catch. That's 2 away. Howard hit that ball off the end of the bat. Here's Bill Scarron, popped to first, hit into a double play. 2 outs, 2-0 the Yankees lead. This is the last of the 6th. Clete Boyer on deck. Stretch, and the pitch over, strike call as Moose leaned away from the sidearm curveball. Daniels not wasting too much time between pitches. Throws to first, Blanchard's back. Again, Daniels sets. Curve over again, strike 2, and again Moose moved back a little bit on the sidearm curve. Ready for the 2-strike pitch. Another curve hit, foul to the left of the plate. Detroit series, and in this series so far, Scarron is seeing a lot of sidearm curveballs. Yet the Moose came through with a big hit in the 9th inning of the first game against Marcy to drive in the winning run. Again, the 2-strike pitch. A curve swung it and missed, strike 3, and that was an overhand curveball that time. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first strikeout for Daniels in this ball game. For the Yankees, in the bottom of the 6th, no runs, no hits, no center errors, 1 man left. And at the end of the 6th full inning, it's New York 2 and Washington nothing. And that was the first strikeout by Daniels. On the scoreboard, Cleveland at Boston. It's the Indians 3 and the Red Sox 1 at the end of 3 1/2. Malzone home it for the only Red Sox run. Detroit is at Baltimore for a twilight doubleheader. They've got their work cut out for them down there. Chicago is at Minnesota for a day-night doubleheader. Minnesota leads 2-0 at the end of 2 of the first game. Killebrew homered in the second with 1 on. That's number 39 for Killebrew. Los Angeles at Kansas City, a doubleheader. They haven't started. In the National League, Cincinnati at Philadelphia for a pair. In the first game, the Reds 4. Philadelphia nothing at the end of 4 1/2, but now that game is being held up because of rain. And if it should rain out that game right now, it would not be an official ball game. Casco homered in the first with 1 on. Pittsburgh at St. Louis, 0-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee at Chicago, the Braves 2, the Cubs 0 at the end of an inning and a half. And San Francisco is at Los Angeles tonight. The Dodgers trail the Reds by only 2.5 games now in that Parrot National League race. But they've got a lot of ground to make up. Well, in this ball game, Benny Daniels will be coming on to lead off. His 3rd time he'll be leading off in this ball game, and ready to carry you the rest of the game, Mel Allen. everybody. Thanks, Phil. Benny Daniels swings, hits the first pitch. A high fly to left center. Yogi out there makes the catch. One away. I'm really not going to carry you folks the rest of the way. Not physically up to it. Keogh, fly to right, walks and single to right. Left-hand batter, the pitch is high and away. Ball one. One ball, no strike. Now the delivery. In there. Strike one. 1-1. One strike. The right-hander to the windup delivers. The pitch is inside. Ball two. In fact, I wish you'd carry me the rest of the way. I'm going mountain climbing. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on, foul back upstairs. Strike two. 2-2. Keogh with 1 for 2. Fly to right, walked and singled. Daly and Burnside are the scheduled pitchers in the second game. Now the windup round comes the right arm. The pitch is swung on and grounded foul beyond the Yankee dugout. Remains 2-2. I know it's Labor Day. Two balls, two strikes. Now the pitch to Marty Keogh. Swung on a ground ball hit in the hole between first and second to right field for a base hit. Ball bobbled momentarily by Blanchard. Keogh getting his second hit, a single to right. And this is the third straight time that he's reached base with one away. Now Billy Klaus backed up by Gene Woodling. Klaus popped to second, grounded to second, and walked. The delivery swung on line over Richardson's head to right field. Stopping at second, Keogh. Billy Klaus lined the ball just over the outstretched glove of Bobby Richardson. And here is Gene Woodling. And the Senators now got something going. Single to right, hit to the box, and fly to deep right. Good clutch hitter. And the pitch. Swung on. There it is, to right field. Blanchard goes back and one-handed at the wall. Wow. The runners race back. Johnny Blanchard. Taking a home run away from Gene Woodling. He raced back to the barrier and had to one-hand that wicked liner. It had been a little higher. It had been a different ball game right at this point. Howard's out there talking to Sheldon now. The last three men have teed off on him. That's the luck of the draw. A little bit higher. That one would have been in the seat. He tied into it. That's the hardest hit ball of the game. Here's Gene Green, who walked,
Nicked by pitch ball, tapped to the box. And you can't make a mistake with this boy either. He's got real power. The right-hand batter. The pitch, high, ball one. On deck is Willie Tasby. Hal Renup is loosening up in the bullpen. 2-0 New York, 7th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Keogh on second, Krause on first. Pitch to Green. Swung on. There's a high drive to deep right. And that ball is gone. Gene Green hit to the opposite field for a 3-run homer. His 17th and 57 runs batted in. And the Senators forge ahead 3-2. They've been tagging him. And Gene Green hits to the opposite field for a 3-run home run. Now Willie Tasby's at bat. Takes the strike, 0-1. Sheldon got the ball up a little bit, and Green powered it into the Yankee bullpen to the opposite field. Now the one-strike pitch to Tasby. Little tap out toward the mound, and Howard has it, throws to Skowron. The side is retired. The damage is done. 3 runs for the Senators. 3 hits. No Yankee errors, and no one left on. At the end of 6 1/2 innings, Washington 3 and New York 2. That Green has really been murdered against the Yankees this year. It was his 4th home run against them. 2 in Washington and 2 here. Before we go to the last of the 7th, remember, to be crisp, a beer must be icily light with true lager flavor, precisely right. Now, those are catchy words, and they sound great when put to music. But the important thing about them is they make sense. After all, aren't lightness and true lager flavor the things you look for in a beer? Of course they are. But now, how about refreshment? Well, as the song says, lively golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Golden, crystal clear Ballantine is the one and only crisp refresher. Your first swallow and each one to follow refreshes you like a cool dip on a summer's day. Isn't it about time to treat your thirst to Ballantine? Icily light, crystally clear Ballantine beer. Hope you'll try it. One swipe for the bat of Gene Green, and the game is turned completely around. 3-2 Washington, and it's the last of the 7th. Cleet Boyer leads off, grounded to short, beat out a hit. The third, Benny Daniels now fires away, ball 1. They have a pinch hitter for Sheldon, be Hector Lopez. Now the pitch, low outside, ball 2. Nothing pitch to Boyer. It's in there. Strike 1. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Boyer is inside. Ball 3. 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. It's in there, strike 2. Now the delivery. It's low outside, ball 4. Benny Daniels to the stretch. Pitch to Lopez. Bunted down the first baseline. Foul. Strike one. First, runners back. 3-2 Washington, 7th inning. Benny Daniels ready. The pitch to Lopez is bunted. And the play is Daniels to Cartier. Lopez sacrifices. And up comes Bobby Richardson. Fly to right, double to left center, and single to short. 2 for 3. Bobby Richardson ready. Daniels delivers. Pitch is swung on, bounce to deep short. Johnson has it, throws on over to first in time. And they're 2 away. Up comes Tony Kubek. Walk, pops to second, and grounded to first. Washington leading 3-2, 7th inning. Daniels set. And the pitch. Swung on, lined over second to center. Here comes Sawyer around third. Here comes the throw. And he scores. And into second goes Kubek. Comes up. He lined to first into a double play, hit to the box, and pops to second. Three, 2 out. Daniels to the stretch and the pitch. Swung on to fly ball into very short center. Johnson out under it, makes the catch. And the side's retired. A pop-up to short center. 1 run for New York. 1 hit. No errors for Washington. 1 Yankee left on. They've had 1 man left on in every inning beginning with the second. At the end of 7 innings, Washington, 3 runs, 8 hits. 1 error. 8 men left on. And that was a crucial error. Allowed a run to come home. Yankees, 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base. And we're going to have a new pitcher. It'll be Hal Renniff. Roland Sheldon pitched 7 innings, giving up 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 3, and gave up 3 runs. The 3-run home run by Gene Green in the 7th inning. So it's a 3-3 ball game to get ready for the 8th. You've got time for this holiday time for fun, relaxation, refreshment, which you'll get and more if you take along a 6-pack of Ballantine beer. Stock up on the crisp refreshers in 6-packs. Whitey Ford Day here September the 9th. For those who have written in and asked how they might participate in honoring the left-hander, the
Whitey Ford Day Committee has secured some gifts for him. But those who like to send in some money, whether it be nickels, dimes, quarters, or dollars, can do so by sending it to the Whitey Ford Day Committee, Bronx Central Post Office, Box 1961, the Bronx 51, New York. All the monies will go into a newly created charitable and philanthropic organization called the New York Yankees Foundation. And in this instance, the monies will be donated to Sandlot Baseball. Whitey got his start there. But above all, come on out next Saturday and help honor Whitey Ford. Dale Long leads off in the eighth inning. Hal Renup to the windup and the pitch. In there, strike one. Renup's 20th appearance has the record of 1 win, no losses. Boy, these Senators really wear the Yankees out. Divided 14 games with them. Now the pitch. Swung on. There's the drive into deep center. Barras the back and makes the catch. Bob Johnson, single to left, foul to first, and single to center. 3-3, eighth inning. Gene Green's dramatic 2-out, 3-run homer in the seventh inning to the opposite field, putting the Senators ahead, and the Yankees came back to tie. The pitch to Bob Johnson, swung on. He tried to check it, foul tip, strike one. Bob Johnson's had 2 out of 3 while hitting .270 on the season. We haven't checked it, but I bet he's hitting more than that against New York. Renup's pitch, low and away, ball one, 1-1. Straight away. Now the 1-1 delivery to the right-hand batter. Backs him up. It's inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Chuck Cartier on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. There's a high fly ball to right. Johnny Blanchard moving under it and has it. 2 down, and Chuck Cartier coming up. Line to first into a double play, pop to first and foul to third. Now the pitch. Swung on, there's a looping pop that Gowan chases in foul ground and grabs. Good running catch by Moose, an over-the-head catch. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7.5 innings, Washington 3 and New York 3.
A beer must be icily light. The crisp refreshers, icily light. With true lager flavor, precisely right. The crisp refresher, precisely right. Lively golden, crisply clear. The crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
With your first swallow and everyone to follow, today's Valentine delivers a sunny, mellow taste that really refreshes. Since people know quality when they taste it, over 5 million glasses of Valentine beer are enjoyed every day.
So clap your hands, tap your feet, snap your fingers. And that's the man for Valentine. The crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
Since 1840,
America's finest.
We pause for station identification.
Paramount Broadcasting for 1961. This is Quality Modern, WOKO, Albany, New York, your Yankee baseball station. The time, 3:30.
It's the last half of the eighth inning, the first game of the doubleheader at Yankee Stadium. Washington 3, New York 3. Yogi Berra leading off, batting in Mantle's number 4 spot. Berra flied to right, single to center, and flied to center. Benny Daniels comes in with a pitch, swung on, and hit high in the air. Pop up to first. Dale Long dancing under it and foul ground and makes the catch. One away. Now Johnny Blanchard. Single to center twice and walks. Daniels delivery outside, ball one. Up and the pitch swung on. There's the drive to deep right field. That ball is going, gone. Johnny Blanchard lines a home run into the right field stand. His 16th of the year and 37 runs batted in. And it's 4-3, New York. He certainly delivered a lot of clutch home runs this year. Elston Howard, single to center, single to right, fly to center. Benny Daniels delivers. Swung on, line to the left center for a base hit. Dasby up for the ball. Howard holds it first with a single to left center. His third straight hit. Howard was hitting .353. That puts him up a little. That home run was the 202nd for the Yankees this year. They've had 11 hits, but just 4 runs. Senators, 8 hits and 3 runs. And out of the dugout comes Mickey Vernon with Skowron coming up. And Vernon looks toward the Senator bullpen. So we'll see whether or not he'll make the change. Plate umpire Cal Drummond goes out and asks Mickey what he's going to do. He's talking to Green and Daniels, so they're going to have a new pitcher. Benny Daniels in 7 and the third innings allows 11 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 1. And has been charged with 4 runs. Coming in. Dave Sister in the 8th inning with 1 out. Comes in to relieve Benny Daniels. This will be Dave Sister's 38th appearance. A record of 2 and 7. breaking stuff. And with Cowan coming up, that's the obviously the kind of pitcher you want. He has the two pitches that, and with enough power on him that causes Moose a lot of trouble. That fastball, it tails into him, and sharp breaking stuff away from him. You got to give these Senators a lot of credit, and Mickey Vernon as well. They've done a tremendous job starting from scratch. And they have been overloaded with a lot of doubleheaders here lately. But rise to the occasion every time they meet New York, as is evident by their 7 wins, and the Yankees 7 wins against them. They've split even in 14 games. Important difference being there is no pressure on them, so that they can feel a little looser in there. But they're keyed up and excited and get just as much of a wallop out of knocking off a contender, if more so, than anyone else. Bill Skowron popped to first, grounded it short into a double play, and struck out. As he comes up, he finds Elston Howard on first base with 1 out, 1 run in. New York leading 4-3, 8th inning, first game of a doubleheader. Clayton Boyer on deck. Moose is a great first ball swinger if it's in that strike zone, if he thinks it is. Sisner all set. And the pitch. It's high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Throw him a slow, high curve. The right-hander to the stretch, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swung on, bounced foul down the third baseline. 1-1. Him with that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Elston Howard on first base, 1 away. Now the delivery. It's low, ball 2, 2-1. To the stretch, Howard with a short lead. And the pitch. Swung on, hit into left field. Keogh out there grabs it. And Howard, playing it halfway, retreats to first. Skowron lines out Keogh in left. Now coming up is Cleet Boyer. Grounded to short. Was robbed of a double on a great play by Billy Krause, but Krause couldn't handle the ball, and so Boyer got credit for a single. Boyer drew a walk on the 7th. The pitcher is due up next. 2 away in the 8th inning. And the delivery is low. Gets away from Green. Down to second goes Howard. Green couldn't find the ball at first. That mask that you wear is like a horse wearing halters. And your vision is restricted immediately. The ball is just on the ground behind you. Strike, 2 outs. Dave Sisler ready. And the pitch. Swung on, lined into center for a base hit. Here comes Howard around third, heading for the plate. Here comes the throw, and Ellie scores. Pete Sawyer comes through with a clutch hit, a single to center. Scoring Elston Howard. And that makes it 5-3. A clutch hit for Sawyer. And Hal Rennup is coming up. Sawyer's 44th run batted in. Hal Rennup is nothing for 2 on the season. New York 5, Washington 3/8 innings. Two away. And the pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. Daly and Burnside are the scheduled pitchers in the second game. Just went to the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on a high bouncer. It's the second. Collier up with it. Flips on to Long, and the side's retired. 2 runs, 3 hits. No errors, and 1 left on. Yankees have left 1 man on in every inning, starting with the second. At the end of 8 innings, New York 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Washington 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Mickey Mantle is going to center field for defense, and Maris to right. Gets a hand. Johnny Blanchard hits the home run, put him ahead. Maris returns to his right field position, Mantle to center. Mantle's left arm is strained and swollen from a batting injury the day before yesterday, and though he played yesterday and hit 2 home runs, he still did it in great pain, and his arm swelled even more after the game. First half of the 9th inning, we'll have a pinch hitter, Jim King for Sisler. Jim King with Marty Key on deck and Billy Klaus to follow. Jim King bats left-handed. Run up pitch, low and inside, ball 1. Now as we go to the first half of the 9th inning, we'll have a pinch hitter, Jim King for Sisler. Jim King with Marty Key on deck and Billy Klaus to follow. Jim King bats left-handed. Run up pitch, low and inside, ball 1. 5-3 New York. Delivery in there for a strike. King batting .284. 5-3 New York, 9th inning. Give him a lot of room at left center. Run a next pitch. Swung on, bounced foul down the first base line. Strike 2, 1-2.
And the pitch. High and inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a broken bat bounder to Richardson. He's up with it. Throws to Skowron in time. 1 away. Hit him on the fist with a slider. Marty Keogh flied to right, drew a walk, and singled to right twice. Billy Klaus on deck. Rennett's delivery of the left-hand batter is in there, strike 1. 0-1. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 0-2. New York 5, Washington 3, 9th inning. And the 2-strike delivery. Outside, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on. The ground ball hit towards second. Richardson up with it. Throws to Skowron and 2 away. Now coming up is Billy Klaus, backed up by Gene Woodling, who in turn is backed up by Gene Green, so you have the picture. Klaus popped to second, grounded to second, walked, single to right. To the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 0-1. The next delivery, low and inside. Ball 1. 1-1. Gene's looking over to the Yankee dugout, and as Klaus gets on, I'm going for 2. He held up 2 fingers. He will, too. Now the pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The wind-up and the next pitch. It's low and inside. Ball 3. 3-1. Pitch on the way. In there, strike 2. Full count. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on to high pop. Kubek and Richardson. Kubek is under it. He's got it, and the ball game is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on, and the Yankees win the first game 5-3. As the fellow says, to use the old cliche, got news for you. Those Senators battled them just as hard as the Tigers did. As we check the totals for the first game of the doubleheader, it shows the Yankees 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 7 men left on.
Washington, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 men left on base. The winning pitcher is Hal Rennup, a record of 2-0. He won his first game against Minnesota on August 6th in relief. This is his 20th relief appearance. Roland Sheldon in 7 innings allowed 8 hits and 3 runs. With 1 out in the 7th, he had a shutout going. He gave up 2 singles, and then with 2 outs, Green hit a 3-run homer that put the Senators ahead. Prior to that, the Yankees had gotten a run in the 4th off Benny Daniels, who had beaten them twice this year without a loss, when Berra and Blanchard singled, and Howard singled to score Berra. The second run in the 5th inning, Boyer singled, was forced at second by was forced at second by sacrificed by Sheldon the second, and held second as Richardson got an infield hit, moved to third on an infield out, and scored on an overthrow. President Truman's leaving and getting a hand. As the Senators tried to execute a double play, the throw back to first was wild, and Boyer scored the second run. In the 7th inning, Boyer walked, was sacrificed by Sheldon, and scored on Kubek's single. Then came that tied it up at 3-3 for in the top of the 7th. Green hit the 3-run homer. Then in the 8th, Johnny Blanchard rocked a home run to put the Yankees ahead 4-3. And of his 16 homers this season, many of them have been clutch home runs.
Well, that wraps up the first game of the doubleheader, but we'll be back with the second game in 20 to 25 minutes. We'll keep the stations informed. And we'll be back with you with the second game. The Yankees having won the first 5-3. So